So we're live now, and yep, we're on, Cory. I just want to introduce a very special friend of mine, a bro star, someone who's out there doing the work, who's been in the trenches. Cory, I want you to just tell my viewers a little bit about yourself, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Please.
Hi everyone. My name's Cory. I have a channel on YouTube called Founders of Dlight. I woke up, probably about 2.5 years ago, and have been on the pathway, aligning to the higher self, opening up the heart, following my path, following my mission, following my experience. And so, yeah, there's a lot that I do and go through. For right now, I basically am doing a lot of readings. I'm an energy healer, grid worker. I was a gatekeeper for a while, stopped doing that, stepped off the portal game, and yeah, got off of that. And but I am a living light code keeper. I am a living library, so I do hold a lot within my DNA and within the light codes that I hold, and so I free share that through my YouTube platform, through working with other people. And yeah, it just keeps evolving from there. We're just working on the 12D multidimensional template and getting back up to that speed and what we're going to be doing for the collective experience now. So
Awesome. Cory, I'm really glad you joined me here today. So I want to give a little background on how we met. But first of all, I don't know if you know this or not, but I think Higher Self channel had picked you up early on. And the same thing had happened to me. But that's how I first came across your work. And I always knew we resonated. I always knew you were like a bro star, even though we hadn't met. But coincidentally, when I was taking my trip out west and I stayed with a sister Echo, you wind up staying with her at the same right after I left. It was almost like we just crossed paths. So that center point through Echo and through the grounding where that house was located is somewhere where we crossed, I think, the grid work, because I was traveling all around laying grid work, and that's what you do too.
Yeah.
And funny enough, your plans were also to go up to Montana. You were being called too, but then both of us got stopped by the universe's no, like you need to be back in your home point. It's going down. Isn't that incredible? I just found that fascinating.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
If Echo is watching this or watches this later, I just want to give a huge shout out to Echo for introducing us through text. And then, so now we can finally meet. This is the first time that we've actually had a vocal conversation together. And I'm so grateful that you're willing to come on my channel and do a reading for the collective and just talk about these things, because yeah, I've always admired you.
Thank you. And yeah, that's the higher self channels where I found you as well, and guiding D. And I got to text with D a little while, and then haven't talked to him in a bit, and a few other people. It was like that was the beginning stages for me of the interconnection with everyone. And yeah, that landing point with Echo was quite an experience. And it's interesting because that whole Montana thing, I know that it's still there when it aligns, and it seems like the universe redirected us into either further levels of expansion or, redirections. And so I'm still excited to get up there, but I'm just waiting for the call and to wrap things up here before we start heading back out there. So,
or for the right time, because even if that's place, yeah, I still feel like I have to check out like Yellowstone and Salt Lake City and Bryce Canyon and all of that on the way up to Glacier, Flathead Lake, something like that. But coincidentally, my niece just got married this past weekend, and they're flying out to Colorado so they could drive up north and do the part of the trip that I didn't get to do. And we had no idea. Like, isn't that crazy? Right up to Flathead Lake, which is such a small part. Like, how could that possibly be that that's the one part of the trip I didn't get to take? And that now on our honeymoon, they've been planning, and that's where they're going. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. And I have a brother who's in Colorado Springs right now near the Garden of the Gods. And he just posted a video, I think, from Flathead Lake. So it's interesting seeing these connection points, because I found that if I get redirected, someone else picks up the line. Like, it's like, it's so cool how the oversoul works and how the monad works. It's like, if we get sent in another direction, someone else picks up the line and they pick it up for us. And then we don't have to carry the burden of the burden. I wouldn't say a burden, but like, I feel like it's a lot of stress when you can't make those trips. Yeah. The load. There you go. The load. I like that better. Carry the load to know that where there's even distribution amongst the tribes, amongst the teams, to get those things done. But I'm still excited to make that trip. Really excited.
I'm hearing, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry. It's like they're singing that song right now.
Yeah, lean on me. That's right.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Lean on me. Too good.
Yes, lean on me. Yeah, I hear a lot of music. It's Somebody singing. It's telepathy. I should have said that last night. I couldn't think of the words when they were discussing music and your vibration. I couldn't think of the telepathy that I wanted to talk about. But anyway, so you're reading yesterday. Well, it wasn't yesterday. It was the day before yesterday. You did it for the Lionsgate. Was it on Saturday or was it Sunday? I think it was Sunday, maybe.
Yeah. So it posted yesterday on 8/8.
Oh, it was fantastic. It was just lit. So yeah, guys, if you're watching this now or in the future, when this is all done, I'm going to post Cory's YouTube channel. Make sure that you go over there and subscribe and hit the bell and all of that for notifications when he goes live, because your work is just incredible. And, we need these algorithms. I want to talk real quick about algorithms and ask you if you've had any problems with YouTube, because I know my numbers have been suppressed. And right before we started the stream, right before I opened this up, I was in there checking some of the numbers and they don't match up. So if you go into like the analytics in the back area and it says like so many people saw your video, but then when you go into analytics, it says like half that amount and the watch time is down. And I noticed my watch time to get monetized had gone backwards instead of forwards. So I wanted to know if you've been seeing anything like that in your channel.
So though I don't pay attention to the analytics in the back end, just because I for myself, it was like, whoever it's in the field, right? Like I know that the codes and the energy is reaching the quantum field. Right. I have noticed that with a few people. For myself, what I notice is when I post a certain video where I'm touching on certain topics, the subscriber count drops.
Yeah.
And for a while, this is what it played with my mind is, oh my gosh, what I'm saying, I'm losing people, right? It's not, and I recognize that it's playing on my my programming. And so I had to stop watching the numbers and start living by this resonance that whoever's meant to see it will see it.
Right.
But yes, I have noticed it. I don't play with analytics at all. I did in the beginning for a while, but then I personally just kind of had to go, you know what? Just let it be, right? Let it be.
I completely agree with you. I do that as well. But the only reason I asked you is because I'm joining the lawsuit against big tech. And this serves as notification, as long with some of the other things that have been posted recently by me as notification, because I was putting out the Friends of the Original Constitution.org. That video serves as their due process. And so I'm also in with big tech, but like they can't take away, they can't censor me. They can't do that because we, the people, hold the power. So I wanted to just go back in because I was collecting evidence because I know my numbers had been messed with. And when I noticed that, I was like, okay, I got to ask you, because I know your growth rate in the beginning, it shot up just like mine did when it shot up. And then there's different times, there's things you're saying exactly what you said. And it's like, all right, I get it. They were censoring before, but they shouldn't be doing it now. And after this week, I think things are going to change and the quantum field is just going to get lit. It's going to turn on and more people are going to get to see it. Maybe they can't handle what we're saying right now, some people. So maybe it's kind of for their benefit that it didn't get out there too fast.
Well, and the thing is for myself, this is why I started to do readings too, was because I found that I hit this cap and I was like, why can't I? And so for me, then it was about really, this is where the unity principle comes in. Like, guys, let's share each other's content, right? Like, let's get it out there, because I feel like the more voices we reach to because I noticed that once I started to support other channels too, and started to break out of my comfort zone for myself, my subscriber count did go up, because now for me, it was like, this message needs to go, the same message to the same audience now needs to go to a new audience. So I shifted that trajectory to kind of push it out a little wider. But then again, too, it's interesting because I've personally had to stay away from some of the truther stuff and bringing up some of the concepts that you're bringing up. It's just which I appreciate you for doing. Honestly, we need someone doing it. We do.
I've kind of been just that bell ringer of truth, and sometimes I have to hold back. Like at my wedding, there's somebody I was riding on the bus with, and they had the masks on, and they were all he kept talking about, besides how rich he was. He kept dropping things that, like he's well-to-do money-wise, but spiritually, it was just like empty tank. And I bit my tongue quite a bit, and I found like, okay, I know I need to do this. Peace and love and light, right? Give them the best. But sometimes you really need to speak your truth, and other times, like I say this all the time, it's one of my taglines. I got it on a fortune cookie, and I carry it around with me. It's knowledge is knowing what to say. So you can have a conversation with anybody about anything. You have the knowledge to discuss something with somebody intelligently. But wisdom is knowing whether or not to say it. Because just because you
Yes.
know the truth, it doesn't mean that you have to tell everybody who doesn't know it, right?
Hmm. Yep.
So I try to live by that.
Well, and
Oops.
for
Sorry,
myself
guys.
too, that's where the energy is the coding that will unlock them to reveal the truth that they, because that for me for a while was, there was a moment in time, I forget exactly the date, right? But there was this moment where it was like, we don't have to shake people awake anymore. What we
Right.
can do is just be the pure I am and allow that beauty to radiate and let the codes unlock now. And so for myself, I found that that way produced a different result in how, first off, I approached people, but also recognizing even for myself that the truth changes at the vibrational bandwidth. I mean, my belief system, everything has shifted so many times because that's the governing system of my reality is my holographic imprint, my epigenetics, all of that coming into play. And so I recognize for myself that as long as I keep an open heart and I show up with compassion, that love will be able to open up to the individual what they need to see, hear, feel, witness within themselves. But also I recognize that with every encounter that I have, I need to speak to the soul. Even if that
Yeah.
spark of light, that essence is super just a granule within that individual, me showing up as soul essence to ignite that little flame and that ember within them is what is going to activate them into their awareness versus the having to go in and really start to truth it out with people. Because
Yes.
that for me has been the key indicator of a softer and easier trajectory. But then again, too, it really is about the soul's path and your alignment, right? Like, so if you're supposed to be bringing these details forward,
Mhm.
that's perfect for you. There's no judgment or one's better than the other, right? We're all just walking our pathway. And so it really, for myself, though, I found that the codex itself, and like you would say, the Christ grid and that open heart, that's what shifts. That's what creates the change and the activation point of remembrance within every individual that we encounter.
I
So
love that. I love that. You put that so well. See, this is why I wanted to have you on my channel. You have a way of putting things that's just unique but easy to understand. And that's sort of
thank you.
been a lot of my work. You're welcome. It's been a lot of my work has been trying to bring things down to earth so people can understand. You know, it's like I knew we were gonna be doing this. I knew it.
Yep. Yep. Well, and that's the thing
That's
too, is a
great.
lot of this information is so out there and it's really about grounding into a practicality now. And that's where for myself, I had to, this is why I chose to go to cards too, because all this information was so out here. Right. And like the thing is that, um, when we have a grounded, practical approach, that's very, I call it digestible. I like the word digestible, where we can sit on it, we can savor it, we can put it on the palate and go, how does this taste to me? How does it feel? How do I sense what this is coming through? The more applicable it is in our own lives. And so for myself, it's been making sure, how can I reformat, reshape what I'm bringing forward in a way that's grounded? Because the thing is that when it's super, super, super esoteric, which this world is, right? When we start to go quantum and go into those realities, it
Yeah.
is. But I find that it shuts a lot of people off. A lot of people just turn away. And for myself, the grounded, practical approach has been the best. But it's been, how do I bring that forward? How do I bring that forward? So
Yeah. And in a way that people can just, like you said, digest it. That's a good word. I think we'll start
yeah.
using that. Just like the word rad. That came to me from Angel. I think I told Echo, and then I think Echo told you, and it's like it spreads. Rad is ridiculously aligned with destiny, right?
I like that. I have not heard that actually. I like that. I like that.
Oh,
Ridiculously
I
aligned
thought
with
you
that.
got that from Echo. That is so funny. That's great.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just a Cali boy. So Cali boy, I say rad all the time. So
Oh, God, that's
yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, let's see. I know you have a reading. We want to do a reading for the collective today.
Yeah.
Maybe we can sort of pull some cards and like I don't know how your process works. If you can, I think I know how your process works, but I think
Mm-hmm.
you know, just for the sake of this channel and everything like that, just everybody know like when he does this reading, this is for everybody. It's he's speaking to your higher selves. He's speaking to your soul, like you just mentioned, and
Mm-hmm.
you'll feel truth resonate within your heart. So just allow the
Yeah.
process because I'm going to be using grid work to send healing while you're doing the reading. And we'll just infuse it
Perfect.
together if you want to work in tandem like that.
Yeah, definitely. That would be perfect. The first thing I want to do is get formal with the approach here because this is how I set up the energetics and set up the foundation for things. Is
Absolutely.
just taking a moment to. I'm going to go into prayer if that's okay with everyone here. Um,
Absolutely.
to just take a moment to thank the Cosmic Mother for setting up this sacred space for this sacred ceremony. I want to gift us a moment to bathe in the light of our higher selves as we just welcome in the highest light functioning of our higher selves in and through the body. I want to take a moment to thank my higher self, my teams, guides, guardians, angels, for providing me the opportunity to be the neutral witness to this message and to be the observer of this sacred gift exchange with all of you. So mote it be. Amen.
Amen.
Okay. So I have a new deck. I got it today because I've had 2 decks recently completely sogged up from a storm that's been coming through. So I have not, I literally just got this deck 45 minutes ago in the mail, but it's something to play with it. Yeah. So
That's great.
I can read pretty much anything, but it's just one of those things that was like,
perfect.
Yeah, perfect timing. Perfect timing. And you know, what a great way to start off new too. I feel like this wants to come through is it's really much so a symbolism of what we encountered yesterday through 8/8, and kind of that more of that invitation of new coming in too. It's like, it feels like even that expression divinely is being guided right now to know that all of the tools which do not serve our highest good are being washed and purified now and being rebuilt as we're inviting in more of the new energetics, the new systems, the new upgrades, the new DNA, the new RNA functioning, the new light bodies, the new blueprints, the new templates. And so that too is almost an invitation for all of us to take a moment to review the tools that we hold that we don't have to necessarily completely let go of. But it's almost like set it aside to look back into what the divine has placed within your own toolkit from within you. And there's something with epigenetics that's coming in there too. And so maybe it's an opportunity for us to speak more to our DNA functioning, especially with everything going on right now in the world, with the, let's just say everything going on. Maybe is a time too for us to begin to really listen to our bodies, like you were mentioning the smoking thing earlier. That really wants to come through, is it's really a part of reclamation of our sovereignty and of our sovereign self and of our true divinity, is a reclamation of the form as well. So there's something that just wants to come through, inviting us to recognize that the form is powerful, right? That the form itself, as it catches up to the consciousness, is beautiful, but we also need to take care of the sacred temple of self for everything that we are encountering in the world right now. So,
yeah, that's beautiful.
Let's see. Higher self guides. What does the collective need to hear right now? What do we need to hear right now? So they're telling me to stop on 4. So 4 foundations. It really does feel like there's a whole new foundation being built through the grids, dissolving the old ley line structures and coming into the new grids. There's a whole new foundation being built within all of us right now, and to honor the rebuild process as it's unfolding. Beautiful. Yes. Okay, cool. All right. So the first card up is the Luminous Warrior, right? And this is to me, coming back into a reclamation of our essence and what we are here to provide for the world, provide for the collective, provide for our families, for our children, for our friends. The Luminous Warrior to me is that ineffable quality of essence and of purity that's untouchable from anything that is thrown at it. And this, for me, is coming through right now, is can you recognize all that you are as the eternal self, as the eternal presence, and how the intelligence of our form, the intelligence of the body, can override and overwrite anything that is thrown at it. And so a lot of this reclamation right now is not only activating the Luminous Warrior within ourselves, and be mindful of the word warrior, right? So we're not here to engage in the war and in the battle anymore. The Luminous Warrior essentially has been dissolved of all fear, that it encounters everything from a place of peace and neutrality, and it's untouchable, it's ineffable. And so this is admiring the qualities of our highest divine aspects as we are working through all of the fear propagation that has been strewn through the collective for eons of times, reclaiming our power and our sovereignty from those systems, those institutions, and coming back to benevolence. So the focus here is on benevolence, right? The benevolence of heart, the benevolence of spirit, the benevolence of self, right? And really activating that as we are shifting with the currents of the tides of change that are occurring, right? So the next card that's coming up too is Spiral. Spiral to me is really, this has been such a big focus recently. It has been about ascension and descension spirals. Okay. So we have to become more mindful in our own energetic systems and in our energetic body when we are giving ourselves to situations that are creating a descension cycle or a spiral into what we would call a death spiral. So where are we still breathing and propagating death in our own life and not breathing and propagating life, right? And to recognize that that spiral crystalline staircase upward is an ever-evolving staircase, and we might have moments of going up and down. I mean, guilty as charged. I'll call myself on this, you know, plainly. Is I have those moments of descension cycles, descension of thought, coming back into that lower form, that lower matter, the lower self. And it's about not changing or resisting that is happening, but gently pushing that thought form into a direction that is spiraling up to source. So this is a reclamation, especially right now with everything going through the airwaves and that's been pumping through, is coming back to where the transference of energy is bringing us into a downward spiral and how we can begin to shift that up. So I'm being called into like the Kabbalion, which is for me talking about the universe is mind, the universe is mental, right? And like really focusing on how our thought forms, our preconceived notions, our judgments affect us in our reality and how we're viewing the main stage and what's going on globally, really coming back into a oneness perspective and having that God thought. Okay, so God thought, Godhead, focus on that. The neutral witness, the observer of divinity within all, right? And trying to have that God thought and that God approach, right? This is kind of coming into what would Jesus do? What would Jesus do? And I'm kind of saying that in a silly way, right? Is because it's like when we keep that focus on the divine structures and the divine essence in how we are communicating with others, how we're seeing, perceiving, witnessing the world, it will help to hold more of our divine DNA and our divine intelligence within the form. And so this to me is also talking about evolution of self and the return to certain patterns in our life. The spiral is noting that we always kind of, if we're on the golden ratio, the golden spiral up, we tend to land back at this point of focus over and over again, but from a higher narrative and a higher perspective, right? So be mindful if you feel like you're looping and go, am I looping or am I evolving? Because right now, this has been a big one, has been loops, right? Has been coming up for me as like the looping patterns, the looping systems, these 1,000-year looping cycles that we've been in, and how we can transcend all of that by allowing ourselves to drop the story, to drop the narrative and the perceptions of self, right? So this has been coming up for myself and I'm feeling it coming forward too, is there's a lot of lineages that we hold. Okay. So we've been, you know, myself have been running a lot of ancestral stuff. And as a result, there's a lot caught up in liminal space regarding lineages. I am, and keeping us stuck to a story frame or a narrative. For some of us, we have to let go of the story of who we are and allow ourselves to be that eternal badassery of self, excuse my language, but like it's like we have to be that the eternal oversoul, free of form, formless, you know, all powerful, all knowing, free of the lineage of the lines, right? Because there's been a lot coming up for myself with Grail lineage, with Rose, with stuff with Magdalene that's been popping up, and a lot of the Christed frequencies coming forward, right? And attaching to that. And so for all of us, this is about making sure that we are being mindful of the storylines that we are attaching to regarding our identity and our aspects of self, and allowing them to merge and emerge from within in an ascended state and coming back to the eternal, making sure that we're taking moments to return back to the I am, because those storylines are important for us to begin to digest and be able to put the pieces back together of who we are at a soul level as soul essence. But it's also asking us as a reminder now to come back to the eternal, come back to eternal, come back to the I am, the all-knowing, the ever-loving, the vast, right? The expansive aspects of ourselves, because we don't want to get caught up in the storyline for too much longer, because that storyline can, if we have an attachment to the storyline itself, that's what can keep us stuck. And so it's about a removal of that, so we can come back more into our eternal presence of that.
So were they the first 2 cards that popped out, Cory?
Yes.
All right. I want to talk about that a little bit, if you don't mind.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Let's see. Where do we start with? The first thing, the warrior. As soon as you said warrior, I was just like, oh, hell yes. Yes. It's perfect. And that's exactly what I feel like the collective is being called to do right now, is to step into their warrior state like never before. And when you were talking about the spiral, the way it goes hand in hand for me, one of the ancient mudras that I've been guided to remember, a state of remembrance from my own being, was the Holy Spirit and the hand of God. And I actually did a video on that about 2 months ago while I was at the place where you were at right after I left, right where our points connected.
Yep.
And the video was ancient mudras, something like that. So it was about 2 months ago. And it was about how to use the mudras for the Holy Spirit and the hand of God. And I talk about spiraling with your breath, spiraling with the Holy Spirit, and then projecting with the hand of God. So in that, it's only like 6 minutes, I think. It's not a long video. But I feel like that's something that we all used to do. And we all used to use the spirals with our breath. And when we send energy, we're not just sending straight streams all the time. We do that. But there's a lot of times where we're each finger for the elements, wind, fire, water, and air. And this is our intention. And when we spiral, we're using opposing but complementary forces of the elements in the spiral. So we're like pulling it up from the ground and force winding that into a spiral when we project out blessings.
Yes.
And like, that's how I perceive it. And so the fact that the warrior is being asked to get back up one more time, get back up one more time, put your armor of God on, put your full armor of God on, use the elements, bring it all in, bring it all back together, and send out your blessings from your toroidal field, from your heart, from everywhere that you project out. Everything that's going on the inside can be projected out with your breath, with your speech, with your eyes, with your touch, with your intention, and with your breath. I already said that. I just feel like these cards, it's validation for me. That's why I wanted to talk about it a little bit, because it's validation for what I'm being asked to do again. And as I'm being asked to put the smokes down again, today's day 1, smoke free again for me. Yay. And, just eating better in general, listening to my body again. And I feel like I had such a hard time coming back here, integrating, almost like I felt like the journey was to continue and it was cut short. And it really wasn't. I came back exactly the right time, because I had to bring everything back to center, back to home, ground it so that I could fill up again, so that I could give out and bless again. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And there's this, by the way, my inner child's coming out right now, because there's something about like, we need to remember how to play too, guys.
Yes.
Okay. We've been doing spiritual weightlifting for a very long time, and the stuff that we go through, our childs need to play. And like, there's this like essence right now, like, come on, like, guys, we're okay. Like, let's have fun again, guys. Let's come on. Cause I think before this, I was hearing Sweet Emotion, the song come through, and it's like, by Aerosmith. Cause I'm very cosmic DJ, like, wicka wicka wop. And so there's this essence right now of like, my inner child's like, come on, guys. Like, don't you guys want to play too? Like, cause the thing is that there is a lot going on, and a part of the Luminous Warrior is the child too. It's the child.
Yeah. I was just doing that at the wedding. I was just at a wedding 2 days ago, it was Friday night. Yeah. And I was up dancing and, like walking around the table, just kind of like, chill dancing. I wasn't like going all in right away. But I was trying to get the people at my table, like, come on, let's play, let's dance. Don't you want to dance? That's all I felt. It was the inner child coming out to play.
Well, and this very much so ties into the spiral too, is like, we have to, a part of the Luminous Warrior is dancing with the energetics, and that movement of the clearing off the stagnation, getting the body into movement again, group hugs. Yes.
Hey, Angel. I love you, Angel. I love your face, Angel.
That's awesome. Is like, we have to get a part of this new flow and new movement with form is how do we create space for that higher light to anchor fully and ground into the body, right? And a part of that has been for myself has been I need to move in a different way. I need to shift energy in a different way. And like, I'm glad that you mentioned the dancing, because there's also this essence too of like bendability and pliability of the form that's going to offer us a deeper, greater level of insight when we have to shift directions like you and I did. Here I am on this path, and the universe goes, nope, you're too attached to that path. Let's go ahead and
Right.
smack you into another direction. Right?
And it was so complicated. It was like it was creating anxiety, not excitement. And I talked about the difference of that last night too. But it was creating an anxiety inside that was almost like something doesn't feel like, what if I don't get signal and I don't have GPS because I can't get it here at the Grand Canyon? You know, like what it was too many questions. But you know, when you're called, when you have to go back home, whether you have a vehicle breakdown or a sister in a hospital, or you have something going on that's, you know, smack in the face, or nope, it's more like that it's not like you have a choice to go right or left. You know, you want to keep going north, and something is impeding or blocking the way, saying, nope, you can go this way or you can go that way, but you ain't going this way.
Yeah. It's the universal redirections. And I feel like, you know, there's been such pivot points on migration patterns. Hi, Genevieve. Oh, I love Genevieve. There's been so many migration patterns, shift pivot points. It's like, okay, all of a sudden, bam, we hit a new bandwidth. We clear that timeline. Nope, now you got to go into a whole and it's like, this is why us learning about flow, right? And honoring the quantum energetics in our multidimensional expression is that it like, that gate might not open up until you land at a certain vibrational bandwidth. It doesn't mean that it's off, but it's like, no, if you're going to enter, right, we need you to enter in a certain
Frequency.
way.
Certain frequency.
Right. Yep. And so that's the weighing the heart with the feather in one aspect as well. It's very much so that Anubis energy of like, okay, you know, let's go ahead and weigh the heart out. Okay, no, maybe we have to go through some offshoots and pathways, especially as we're going through review times, right? Because the review is like, all right, let's see, choice point, let's see how you handle this. And then it's like that review passageway will create an offshoot timeline or an offshoot pathway for you to go navigate to clear up everything to land back at that. And so it's like, honoring that. And that's why I feel like the body movement was coming forward to is like, guys, we got to learn how to bend and flow with the energetics a little bit more and drop the resistance for all of us. And I'm kind of just, my essence is being called to share it for a reason. Even myself, right? Because I've had to learn the chant to myself. I attach to nothing. I'm practicing healthy detachment.
Yes. And I do the I ams too. I am light. I am love. I am healed. I am divine. Yeah, I'm protected. Depending on what you're feeling, when you need that empowerment, you are encoding that by speaking it. It's so important. The speech does so much. Yes, you can use telepathy and you can use your mind, and you don't always need to speak things out loud. But when you do, you are redirecting everything from your quantum now. You're pulling all the linear timelines back from all directions. You know, and you're pulling everything back into that center point as you speak something. It's a creation. Your speech is creation, and it carries codes and vibrations and blessings and love and light and all of that.
Yeah. I'm also seeing too from this, I was just shown about spirals, is that when we're speaking, imagine it being a golden tornado that expands as you go out. Because I was shown the field essentially having like dimensional bandwidth or vibrational separation. Like imagine like a stack of cards, right? Like each one of these cards layering, being each card being resembling of a vibrational bandwidth or a future pathway, right? So as we're speaking, imagine it spiraling out like a golden tornado that just expands through all dimensions. So we're not just horizontally speaking through into one dimension, but we're making sure that we are creating that crystalline structure and that crystalline web across all dimensions, all time space. So then that effect does have a quantum effect. So it's just something that to bounce off of that too is about the spirals, is speaking in spirals too, in a sense. So.
Oh my God, yes. And it sounds all so complicated, but it's really not, because once you get that time is not linear and you get that time actually is circular, quantum, which, you know, in all directions. The whole thing is the confusion that comes in for people. Like, I get it. I understand. I drove myself crazy trying to think of these concepts, trying to understand these concepts back when I first heard about them, because I explored every rabbit hole that came to me in the late 90s. You know, I took the long, slow turtle path. So I explored everything, and there really wasn't like YouTube channels that I could go and watch and have this explained.
Yeah.
So, you know, I drove myself nuts sometimes, but finally, you know, getting those aha moments as time went on and things got a little, you know, the time was right to understand it in my own being.
Yeah.
When I started to understand that there's a sun inside of you, that sun inside of you is your spark of the divine, your divinity, and you
Mm-hmm.
can expand and retract or contract and expand
Mm-hmm.
or send out blessings in any way that you want. And I started understanding light points and what a light point activation is. And it's literally like I really wish that I could get some kind of diagram that's like
Mm-hmm.
holographical so I could
Mm-hmm.
explain, you know, when you see like light shows or you see different, you know, things and people draw and sketch it out as they're speaking. If I
Mm-hmm.
could just explain it like the way that I understand it or understand it, so that it could make it so easy, because some people are going like, I just don't get this, or you know, and I want to help, but I can't make it any more down to earth or whatever
Mm-hmm.
than what I can do, and all I can do is try to share, you know. So that's why it's really
Yeah.
important too. People, like you were saying, get together, share each other's channels and each other's information, because you have a way of explaining things. And that video you did for Lionsgate was just so powerful. And I'm so grateful you did that, because I was like, yeah, this guy,
Yeah.
got to get him on my channel, man. We've
Thank
just
you.
crossed paths enough and we're doing similar work. And
Yeah.
yeah, you just have such a divine spark inside of you that is very, very helpful. And you're clear when you speak, you're very clear and you're
Yeah.
to the point, and you bring a lot of wealth. I always saw it too, like you're, say it's like a circle around you. So you're like
Mm-hmm.
in a circular room with shelves all around, but they spiral,
Mm-hmm.
like we were saying, spiral again.
Mm-hmm.
And each one of our treasures we keep inside of there, but you cannot access that on the outside world. It's inside of us. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like a spiral in the secret heart chamber. And each one of
Yeah.
these treasures we can choose to activate or choose to remember.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to tell anybody like you need to do this or you need to do that, but I really think meditation and getting to know your thoughts, getting to know thyself is probably the
Yes.
most important thing right now, more than ever.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's been key for me, has been starting transcendental medication. That's funny.
Yeah,
Good
what's that?
one.
Want to share
Right.
that?
Yeah, transcendental. It's meditating more, because that is the medicine right now. For me, it's been putting on. So I've been guided to do theta waves, to listen to theta waves, binaural beats, and to go deeper within to discover what's in my DNA, right? To know more about my gifts, because there's been, for myself, has been like I know, but there's I don't want to go too deep, right? And that's a part of, oh, thank you. I love your face. That's hilarious. Thank you. It's coming back into that really, really, really deep, resounding self of what because I find that the gifts that we hold are held within our DNA, very much so. And a lot of this has been learning more about what I have to offer, because I was shown kind of like when you were discovering the circle, I was seeing a plasma ball. And a plasma ball, it's like wherever we touch, that's the light point ignition, right? And for myself, sorry, I kind of got off track because someone was knocking on my door.
It's okay.
Welcome to being in an RV park, right?
Uh-huh.
But it's to it's for myself, deepening that meditation of knowing who I am, because the big thing right now has been, especially with all the teachings, all the way showers, all of these things that are accessible on YouTube and through so many different guides and so on and so forth, to really find out what our truth is, so we can stand in that. Because I found that for myself, my blueprint, my DNA, my soul holds a different way of being than others do. And so it was like a part of this blazing my own trail and pioneering my own path, is like, I need to really go within to find out what my essence is, how it shows up in the form, what its gifts and abilities are, because that's a part of that reclamation of our gifts and the tools that was coming up earlier, right? Has been, now that I've got this tool set, when we all unify, right? When we all get to that point of like, all right, guys, let's build. We show up with our tools. What do we have to offer? Because that's where our abundance is directly connected to what tools we're going to share with the world. And anywhere we are not sharing a gift or ability of self, we're blocking a flow of abundance in our own lives.
All right.
So Yeah.
I find that fascinating when, I love sharing. I know I've always been a giver. And almost anybody could say that. It's nicer. It feels good to give.
Yeah.
But when you do it and you don't have it, or you think you don't have it, but let's just say when you're hurting and you give and you're giving from your heart for the right reason, because you completely let go of all the wounds of the past, all the needs, the wants, the desires, all the attachments. You've done all the work, you've healed, and then you give from your heart. You're always taken care of. You always have exactly what you need, and that's where we're coming to. This is all coming to an end, you guys. Like this week, you all know it's coming this week, right?
Party time.
It's party time. Yep. Well, I'm just calling it #Toto moment.
That's right.
Yeah, I've been calling this one out. It's #Toto moment for the collective.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a slow roll through the week. It's not going to just be a light switch moment, unless of course Wednesday calls for the emergency broadcast system to be in full on, instructional. This is not just a test, If that has to happen and all of that, and it doesn't just go as a slow roll, then, we'll see. It's still going to be a slow roll. It's going to start tomorrow morning, 9:00. Make sure you guys are all tuning in. Cory, do you feel like, are you done the reading, or do you got a couple more cards? Because I know I interrupted you, but it felt like a good break to come on and talk about the warrior and the spiral.
Yeah.
So how are you feeling? Do you want to do a couple more cards?
I'm feeling good. Yeah, I'm charged, baby. Let's do this.
Good.
And
speaking of charged, like last night, I could not get to sleep. I was just like, I knew I was quitting cigarettes. I was excited. We did our live, and all I did, I turned all the lights out, I put all airplane mode on. I always do that every night. I don't get notifications when I sleep. I have all my shungite and all my stuff ready. So, and I was just sitting in bed. I had all the lights out and I was like, all right. And I just let myself get full on in to clean up and finish up some of the work. Because when I'm live, sometimes I have little interruption things that are happening.
Yeah.
But when I'm trying to like run it and then also handle other stuff behind the scenes, it can get a little bit disjointed. I say, it's not like I'm losing my concentration. No. But I still have to go back and clean it up, if that makes any sense. But you said during our thing last night that the power went out. Tell us about this.
Yeah, so I was about to go into this. So basically, we're dealing with a lot of Asaneaki. I speak light, by the way, to kind of catch up and clear the field. So if I randomly drop into light language, that's why.
Do it.
But there's a lot of false power systems that have been, or let's say old power systems that are very much so alive and active here. Yesterday, when I tuned into your live stream, I mean, it was fascinating because there's been the end of this, there's been a certain part of the ancestral lineage that just didn't want to budge. And so it was fascinating how everything is lined up, because the ancestral lines that I'm working on very much so ties into this whole thing with finances and money and the elites and big tech and things of that nature. So going into this grid work session, it was right when you dismantled the back of the solar plexus chakra, right? And I felt it because I knew that there was I've been feeling it, the back body, for a little while. And I would clear it and it would return, clear it and return. And last night, right when it dismantled, I got a text message. Cory, did your power go out? And I was like, oh my gosh. And so I went up and everyone's power was out on our land. And I was like, oh my God, I was so happy. That to me is always a sign that we just knocked down a power structure. Now, the weather that came, it was like God's hammer showed up and was reprogramming the land, because the lightning, the wind, I was dancing, right? I was dancing. It's just so excited because we had a few times where we had power failure coming back on. So it would go down, come back on. And yeah, it was really, it was exciting being in that.
That's awesome. I'm really glad you told me about that, Val. That's cool. Like we don't need to hear it, but like it feels good to hear it because we still get confirmations for things like that. I just want to welcome D, Guiding Dlight. So if you guys should go check his channel out too, Guiding Dlight. And also they wanted to be, somebody said, how do I tune? Oh, Dina, she wants to know, how do I tune in tomorrow? Okay, so tomorrow at 9:00. So this is just a little housekeeping real quick. Tomorrow at 9:00, you guys can go either to OAN, to Newsmax, or frankspeech.com. It'll live stream for 72 hours for 3 days straight. And I don't know that they're going to loop an 8-hour segment of education, but I know that they're going to be showing what really went on, how it went on, the challenge that's going on, the forensic people, all 50 states are going to be represented. It's going to be the Toto moment that people need to know, need to watch what actually happened. I won't say too much more about it because, you know, we're all going to wait and see what happens. Nobody really knows what's going to happen, but we do know that it's going to be huge.
Yeah.
Huge, I'll say. So check that out. And I'm also going to throw something else at you guys because I believe that Jacera and Nicera are rolling out. I believe it's going to happen a lot quicker than people think. It's going to take months and months and months to get into a lawsuit, to sue the government, blah, blah, blah. No, this is not that. We are having a constitutional convention. If you haven't watched the 17-minute video yet, go to friendsoftheoriginalconstitution.org and watch the 17-minute video. I love the code numbers. This in the first 3 minutes and 33 seconds, or give or take, you will know exactly why this is happening and exactly what's been going on and how we fired the government and the criminals are going to be taken care of. The companies are the whole thing's going to transition. We, the people, are basically establishing a new constitutional convention in a constitutional court. It's our court. It's not the maritime laws. It's not under the masquerading government that, you know, we no longer give power to. We revoke all of the contracts that we've signed. This lawsuit, by signing up for this, it's a $500 trillion lawsuit, you guys. There's $100,000 in it for every American citizen right off the bat. Everything that's in there, the goodies will be listed right around the 3.5-minute mark. But listen to the whole thing. In the first 5.5 minutes, you're just going to be blown away. You'll probably feel that expansion in your heart going, yes, this is it. This is how it's going to roll out. We didn't know how it was going to roll out. We always talked about Nicera, Jacera, and all the benefits about a one-time debt forgiveness of all your debts, mortgages, you know, things will be paid off, cars, all not paid off. It'll equal zero because we're withdrawing from the old system. And so there's so much with retirement and senior citizens getting the $2,500 bump a month that they should get, and everything being brought in for the healthcare systems like essential oils and all of that should be not whatever. All right, so it talks about everything in the video. It explains it way better than I ever could. And on that website, there's a list of links where you can read all 20 pages of the lawsuit, which I highly suggest you do at some point, but sign it so you're in on the Nicera rollout. And also, and I'm calling it Nicera. It doesn't mention that it's Nicera, but everything that's in there, you'll see why. You'll see why it's Nicera. And there's also a link in there for things that are not listed in the video, like money for lawyers, accountants, judges, nurses, doctors. Those were listed in the video, nurses and doctors, small businesses. All of that has a certain amount. Like if you were kicked out of your apartment, evicted from your apartment, or lost your home during COVID, there's an amount for that as well, which I qualify for because I lost my home. And, you know, you guys just click on the treasures after you sign your name and you're exploring around. When you click on treasures, you'll see everything listed bullet point by bullet point of exactly how much has been allocated for it. And I did sign up to be an affiliate because they're going to give people back for their donations. They're going to give back 100 times the amount of their donation. That's a great investment, wouldn't you say? And also, if you're an affiliate, you'll get 20% of, you know, profits and whatever. So I signed up for that, but it was too important. I'm not waiting for them to approve me as an affiliate before I share this information because you guys all deserve and need to know. You need to know what's going on and you need to be a part of it. So do that. That's the website down there below. Share it with all your friends, family, and everybody. I even was tagging people that I knew were like on the other side. And I kind of paid for that, but it's okay because I was guided to share it and I did. Yeah. So there you go. There's that. Now, how you can tune in tomorrow is the Frank Speech one. I already told you about that, right, guys? Yeah, let's see. Frank's speech tomorrow. If you don't get OAN or you don't have cable or you can't do Newsmax, but I think Newsmax will probably stream it live on YouTube, I'm guessing. I hope they do. But either way, Frank's speech will stream it for 72 hours. And don't forget the EBS is scheduled for the 11th, which is right in the middle of all of this. So make sure you guys keep that information handy and pass it out to as many people, because as soon as they hit the magic number, which is the majority, whatever the majority magic number is, that's when the Constitutional Convention will happen. My instinct is saying it's going to happen real fast, like maybe even this week. They probably already have the majority. I'm sure they already have the majority. But that's it. If I went off on a diatribe there, Cory, and I forgot something, just let me know and tell me. Like, give me a cue. I feel
no,
like
it's just not my realm. So I'm just gonna hold space, because it's one of those things. It's your thing, not a judgment, but it's just like and I'm grateful for you to be having this level of knowledge, because once again, it's like everyone's expertise is different, and I appreciate you. It's just more, I feel like I don't know what to say here, because it's something I haven't focused on. I am excited, however, for the release of the funds, so we can finally get the humanitarian projects going.
Okay, so this rollout, this lawsuit is money that's been retrieved back from all the criminals and all of that. So put that aside. All right.
Okay.
Then there's a revaluation that has to happen, because there's also ways in this lawsuit for it to roll out to other countries. So other countries can join up if they want. And I believe the last number that I heard from behind the scenes intel was that over 200 countries had already signed up, or 200 countries and territories had already signed up for it. And that's what Trump did when he was going around all the different countries, getting them on board for this. So they can sign up as well. And whistleblowers, inventors, and things like that, they can all, cash in on it if you want. But I know we're going past the money. So the humanitarian projects now. All right. So put that aside. Then we look at every country in the world is going to be $1, is going to be a yen, is going to be a euro, is going to be, a dollar for dollar for dollar for, like, it's all going to be equal. And so there has to be a revaluation of other currencies. So a currency that's not a reset, it's a revaluation. So everything can come up to be equal. And so if you're holding foreign currency, you are going to have a chance to take that to an exchange center or a bank or wherever it's going to be. So if you're holding, say, 100,000 of Vietnamese dong, right? You go and it's revalues for $4, and you go, so that's 4 times 100,000. You know what I'm saying? You can go and cash in and do that. So that's the revaluation. Put that aside. If you don't have foreign currency, if you're not part of that revaluation, put that aside. Gold, silver, all those things that have been suppressed, they're going to be, release the Kraken, right? Like, they're going to be coming up in value. So, all right, but put that aside. And yeah, I know precious metals and all assets are very important, but put all that aside. You got all the cryptocurrencies that have been kind of, Google's going to start allowing ads. All the banks have been buying into it. Everything's going digital. So, all right, put all that aside. If you're not involved in crypto, you don't have foreign currency. If you don't sign up for the lawsuit, are you going to miss out? No. There's still projects for humanity that still have to come for people that are holding bonds and Zim and that sign up when they go in to do their exchanges. So all of this has to roll out at the same, not the same time.
Got it.
But I think the way it's rolling out is absolutely beautiful. It's brilliant. The plan is absolutely brilliant. And the projects for humanity are going to be able to help people that maybe didn't have a piece of the pie or whatever. Nobody is going to do without, or nobody's going to have wants. We're going to be angel investing in all kinds of things. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal when we get everybody healed. And I'm looking way far ahead, because we do still have to go through a cleanup. We do still have to get everybody healed and caught up and educated and living in a world that's a golden age of share and beyond money. Going past that.
Yeah.
Still want to go to town?
Hold on. I'm on a live stream. I'll be right there.
No rush.
Apologies.
It's okay.
Sorry about
It's
that.
all good. All good. So anyway, that's all money aside. It's all going to be rolling out slowly but surely, but make sure you guys, go to that website, Friends of the Constitution, the original Friends of the Constitution.org, and sign up for it, or read it, watch the video, and decide if you want to sign up for it. That's what I should say instead.
Well, and I want to say it's important too, because a lot of us, like me, I'm such a starseed at heart that when this stuff comes up, I go cross-eyed, because I'm like, it's like,
sorry.
No, it's a good thing. It's a good thing that you're. I'm complimenting you, because the one thing that I've been talking about, I really feel like, is we need more education for, or how's this been coming through for myself? Because I know the education's available. We just got to go find it. Is a way to be able to make this once again digestible to those of us where we just spin out. Because myself being a business owner, right? Like when it came to taxes and everything, it's like every year when I step into this, my eyes go cross-eyed and I spin out because I'm like, I have no idea really what I'm doing, but I'll figure it out, right? Because it's just been a part of my blueprint and my soul that has been very interesting. So it's one of those things that you bringing this up in the way that you are right now is piquing an interest for me to learn more so I can be more educated about these things. Because I feel like a lot of us have been kind of walking around, you know, at least in my generation, the people I interact with have been walking around with our blinders on when it comes to this stuff. So I just want to thank you. That's all.
You're welcome. We got somebody asking, I think it's Angel up here asking for Cory's link. So you are Founders of Light, if that's the link you're looking for. Founders of Light on YouTube.
Yeah. So
and then
youtube.com/Founders of Light.
Founders of Light. I'll put that up in another minute. But is there going to be a new constitution? That way wants to know, is there going to be a new constitution that everyone in creation has to sign? Well, when you sign digitally to join the lawsuit, you are actually becoming a founder of it's not a new constitution. What is it? It's a constitutional convention because it's no, it's not a declaration. It is, hold on, I will tell you exactly what it is. It is a declaration of restoration. And the thing that everybody gets so confused about, our Declaration of Independence. Well, we don't need to declare ourselves independent. We don't need that. That's how it was hijacked. That's how the Constitution was hijacked. So the video explains that. It's only 17 minutes. So you will get totally caught up if you watch that video and your eyes will not cross. You know, you're going to be like, wow, this is awesome. Yeah. So just by digitally signing up, you will be a founder on the Declaration of Restoration. And when they have enough, then it rolls out. So I don't know if you can still join it after. I don't know. It doesn't say anything about a deadline. So do your homework and make your choices that way. Thank you for asking that question. And if you're not signing, because you don't worry, everyone's going to be taken care of. It's all going to be fine, whether you're American or not. It's all going to be handled. And Cory, do you need to go, or is someone waiting on you?
Nope. Okay. I'm good.
All right, good. Well, I'm going to throw your thing up here there, Cory. Founders of Light on YouTube. That's where you can find him, Angel. Guys, please go over, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, yada, yada, yada. And now I'd like to get back to maybe a couple more cards, if you don't mind. That would be awesome.
Yeah, so it's interesting because there's one more card from the Shaman's Oracle deck that is the giveaway. And I just want to take a moment to tune back into the message. This is coming up in so many different ways. This is, for me, about...
Wait. I have to interrupt. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine.
First, I'm sorry for interrupting. I thought you only pulled 2 cards right away. And now you're coming back with the giveaway. And we just did this whole segment on all the money and everything. Oh, my God. I love it. But we can't make this shit up.
No, this is really about, for me, I keep hearing give away the ghost, right? Give away the ghosts of Christmas past. This has been such a thing that's tying up to the ancestral lines and the resistance we have to the change and to the shift, right? Is because there's a lot of really deep colonization patterning that is held really, really deep. And some of us still might be holding on to resistance with the body with new coming in. So this is really give up the ghost, right? Give up the ghosts of Christmas past, give up all of that stuff. It's also too about us being very gifting of our essence to the world so we can begin to raise up enough and open up in the realms of compassion and in love to begin to come forward into this new period that we're coming into as a unified civilization, as a galactic family, as a soul family, divine family, whatever we want to call it, speak it into being. This is really about, for myself too, I have to do this declaration every single day, is I have to give away my human to my higher self. Every day I have to surrender my human functioning, everything I thought, perceived, witnessed, believed about self. I have to consciously give that away, right? every day, surrendering everything I thought I knew to my higher self, right? Because that to me is what has created a lot of resistance in holding on, and not transforming it and shifting into that higher light functioning of self, and into the higher aspects. And that's to me where the body is holding on to that old epigenetic blueprint, right? This is where, when we're holding on to the old epigenetic blueprint, right? When we're holding on to the old story, the old bloodline, things like that, that's what creates the hook into the DNA for manipulation and control. So a part of us coming into the higher divine essence of our DNA, of our crystalline technology, right? Of our Christos presence, of our guardianship, of our 12-strand plus DNA, in its organic functioning, of course, is that it's now, once we are giving ourselves to that, there's not going to be anything that they can throw at us that's going to be able to get to us. And this is why it's important for us to constantly, every single day, gift ourselves to the new experience, gift ourselves to the new expression, gift ourselves, give away everything that we need. Wait, hold on. Because I just got caught up in a little thread there. Coming back into central thinking. This to me is also aspiring to be into our higher light functioning. Like the way that I'm seeing she's like pulling in the light as well, is it's like, and I'm hearing bring me a higher love, right? Is like holding on to that hope and that faith and that courage, and allowing your teams, allowing your essence to come in more and more and to fill up more in that. And to just continually bring in your essence, to continually focus on your connection, keep the eyes to the sky, right? Because it feels like right now there's something about divine orchestration and divine order, higher universal laws, elder councils, things like that, that are really working in our highest alignment and really keeping our focus, our prayers, our attention to the heavens, as everything is working out in divine order for everything that is happening globally right now.
Wow.
And so, yeah, that's that for the giveaway.
That was powerful. I'm sitting here just going, yeah, Cory, just keep going. You got it. And when you said you went down and you were pulling it back, I was seeing it. So I was kind of like guiding you back. And they reminded me when I went and watched your video, your reading. I don't know if you saw my comments or not, but there was something where you were like, right now, because I just subscribed. You can subscribe to Cory as a patron on Patreon. No,
thank you. Yeah.
A patron.
Yeah,
on Patreon. I can never say. I always say the wrong thing. People make fun of me for that, but I don't care. It's so anyway. Yes, I just subscribed, and I was like looking at the numbers, like what number I am, and then I was like, I like to see I like the number code sometimes. I can't help it. And then it was like so many likes, and then I was just like, and I had put this down, and right as I'm writing my comment about the video, you're in the middle, and you're like, you go like this. Not right now. I'm doing a reading right now. Thank you. Or you're like, thank you, but I'm doing a reading right now. And I was like, was he talking to me? I'm like, I wonder what he was thinking. What was that thought? I'm putting you on the spot.
I know. Well, so I think, what occurs is sometimes I'll start a reading and I'll start getting my own guidance, and they're like, you need to, and it's like, okay, thank you guys, but this isn't about Cory right now, right? This is about bringing forward the information for the collective. And so, but also too is, sometimes I've had to learn how to navigate, right? Because when you are a, kind of a channel and a divine witness, anything that comes through, I have to kind of check where the energy goes, especially reading collectives. Because I found that sometimes I'll have like one person, if I'm like calling in, like my subscribers, for instance, and I'm doing something, there's usually one or two or like a grouping of people that kind of hijack the reading, and I have to be like, energies, back up, right? This is a collective message, and make sure that I'm following that thread. So yeah.
I'm so glad you said that I see the same thing when I do the same thing for my groups. And by the way, patrons, your readings will be coming out. I promise you, I will get those readings done for you. But I get the same thing. Like someone will come through and then it's like, no, you got to back down. This is a group reading. But sometimes you say it and it's like, okay, because this might apply to a few of you, but not everybody. And you kind of give them their what they need so they can back off if they come at you too much, They keep trying to take the whole reading over.
Yeah. Well,
so
and
funny.
and yeah, it's been interesting learning how, because I just started to like read cards, and so I have my tarot friends that have been doing this a long time, and they're like, by the way, this is, and I realized that actually reading at this level is the same way that I would read a field and do energy work. It's just now I've got an instrument or a piece of art to express and to kind of confirm or validate what I'm doing.
Yes.
And so it's interesting learning, and that's what I loved about picking up cards. Was it was like, there was a while ago, there was this, once again, coming back to the toolkit and the expansion of self, right? Is I recognized that this was my magic was a part of me that I hadn't fully expressed to the world. So me coming out of the magic closet, you know, and like, and really stepping more into my magics and bridging that with bringing back my star magic essence has been really, really important. But I found it's the same way of navigating. It's just, I've got a tool here. So
nice. So when did you start reading? You said you just started reading. I would have thought you've been reading for years the way you do it.
No, so, well, I've had decks for a while. When I picked up the deck, I started to run into, just like we all run into when we activate an essence or step into a gift, we run into the distortion. So, of course, I had people like, oh my gosh, you're a dark magician and you're all, whatever. You're
yeah.
the whole, that's...
Bless you, right?
Yeah, right. And of course, I had my own karma and threads programming to work through with it. But I just started picking up, I've always been interested in tarot. I've always had a fascination with it. And then something, I met these wonderful, there's this tarot group that I was following for a while. And then we ended up all becoming friends and creating our own little group. I was the one guy that didn't read tarot. And so I was like, I'm going to start doing this. And all of a sudden it was just like, just do it. Just go with it. I got the message about a year and a half ago to start reading cards, and I never followed through. And I'll have to say it's the best decision that I've made in my life as of recently, because it shifted my life path into a whole new direction, one where I'm a lot more fulfilled and happy. And now it's like a reclamation of, it's like I needed this to bridge, to build a new pathway for myself. And then now I'm going back and retrieving certain parts from other pathways and bringing them into this point of singularity now to bridge it with cards.
Exactly. In other words, AKA he's collapsing timelines from the past and reclaiming treasures that are from other aspects of yourself. Hey, I got an idea. Spirit wants to know if anybody out there, maybe you could pick a card for one person out there who's listening who might want to raise their hand. So first person who comments in here, maybe. How about that?
Yeah, that works.
Cool. First person that comments in here, we'll do a special one for them. And then if you're guided to do something for the whole group or just people watching, we'll see. So the first person that throws down and says something, that way gets it.
That way?
Yep.
Of course. Hi, that way. I know that way.
It's that way.
Do you know the way? That way.
Not this way. That way.
So that way. Ooh. Girl or guy? I want to say girl, so I hope you're a female. But that way, you need to. I'm hearing reclamation of sovereignty. So just a reminder every single day to keep reclaiming your sovereignty. Right? However that is, I'm God sovereign free. I'm a sovereign being of light. I'm sovereign in form across all time, space, dimensions, and realities, seen and unseen. Just a little something that came through because I heard reclamation of sovereignty. So just keep reclaiming your powerful badassery. So excuse my language, but
you don't have to. You don't have to excuse anything. You can speak your truth on this channel, and if YouTube doesn't like it, then they can just,
Yep. All right, so
I said it psychically. You probably heard that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, so one card for that way. What is that way? I'm just getting a lot of messages. You need to also trust your evolution of your strengths, gifts, and abilities. So, okay, cool. Ooh, 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands. Come out of hiding. Come out of hiding. This is... I'm sensing that there's something that you're ready to show to the world. And it's time to come out of the closet, come out of hiding, and to show your beautiful essence. Because this card is very dark, but there's this light behind here. And it just wants to come through and just shine through this entire experience for you. Underlying in the deck, we've got the 3 of Pentacles. This is to just remind you that no man is an island. You don't have to do it alone.
Wow.
You don't have to do it alone. This is also, it might feel like it's a great feat, whatever you are coming forward with or coming forward as, like if there's a higher version of you or your essence that wants to shine through more. I want to let you know it's safe to be a master. It's safe to be the master. It's safe to be your beautiful essence. And I feel like sometimes we need that invitation from another person to go, it's okay, babe, come out, be yourself. Right. And I feel like that's very much so the energy kind of coming forward is come out, be your beautiful, bright, brilliant self. But also too, you don't have to do this alone. There's other people that are on the same pathway with you. So you're not alone. So there might be a perception of aloneness, but this is really coming back into the interconnectedness of the quantum field and of the soul tribe and the soul family. And to know that we're all standing beside you on the crystalline grid. We've all got our nodal points, right? And I'm here, when I move, you move, just like that. Like, so when you move, we move, right? But like, we're kind of, I say we from the essence of the unified essence is like, we're just waiting for you to move. And then like the puzzle pieces will arrange, right? So if you're waiting for someone else to move, I feel like right now it's, you got to make that first step and then everything else will align for you.
That's great. What deck is that, Cory?
The Wild Unknown.
The Wild Unknown. I love it. It's absolutely fantastic.
By Kim Crayons. It's very black and white. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. I'm on a live stream. Go right ahead. Go right ahead. I'll be on for a little while. And then I got to do another one at 6.
Oh, wait, and then we'll do them another night.
Okay. Maybe tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Love you. Sorry.
You're good.
Okay. So how you feeling? What are you thinking? Oh, yeah. Thanks for that way. I'm sure the gratitude is there. So do you want to do a few more people? Do you want to do it for the group? What would you like to do? Because we got a bunch of people raise their hand after they realized we're first coming.
Let's just do it. I've never done individual readings before. I normally do collective. So it's kind of, for me, I get to practice and it's me. I get to break out of my comfort zone. So if you guys want to do that, I don't mind doing it because it's helping me to.
Yeah. Practice and all. You're right on, but excellent reading. You should consider doing it and offering that as a service because I'm sure people would donate for that.
Yeah.
Let's see. You guys are getting a little taste of what he's doing, so feel free to leave comments of encouragement for Cory because I think he should absolutely open up a service of reading. Now, the next person after that way was Dina. So
Dina,
you're pulling for Dina.
Pulling for Dina. Dina, what? Greedy, huh? Just kidding. They gave me like 16 cards,
Dina.
right?
Of course, Dina would do that to you. Yes.
Dina,
I know Dina.
like, give me all the readings.
No,
I'm
she's not like that. She's very generous. Very generous.
That might be it then too. Why like 16 different cards popped out? It might be that token of generosity. I'm gonna go into my other deck, the new one, the Mystical Shaman Oracle. So, Dina, what do we need? She's such a beautiful person. Very loving inside and out. Ooh.
Yep.
Okay.
I can confirm that.
So this is coming with a song. There's a song by, who is it? Jonathan Roy. And it's called Keeping Me Alive. And it goes, breaking every chain that you put on me. Breakthrough. All right. This is your moment to break through. Break down, break open, break through. Remember that, the process. We break down, we break open, we break through to the other side. And I'm hearing break on through to the other side. This is also too about being steady in your aim and focus right now. You're reaching some sort of completion, right? So this is very much so coming forward is stay on your path. Stay on your path. You're breaking through to the other side of whatever it is that you've been confronting or confronted with in your life. And I'm hearing emotional breakthrough. It's an emotional breakthrough. Like there's a new level of triumph for freedom that's coming in your life. But as a result, allow yourself to go to that place. You know what I mean? Allow yourself to go deep into that process and to feel what you need to feel and to let out what you need to let out. Even if you got to scream, right? Sacred rage. Whatever you're feeling, gift yourself that opportunity to feel it. Because once it passes, there's going to be something that breaks through for you. I'm also seeing too that, This is a moment for you to stand up for all that you believe in. It just got really serious right there. Like very, like as I'm looking at this, it was like, it's your time to really stand firm in who you are and to really stand up for what you believe in and to know that you're being taken care of every step of the way. Right. And I feel like with the level of the depth that's kind of coming through right now and the level of seriousness from once I took a moment to really reflect on the cards, this is a moment for you to feel that, not for really feel that whatever is happening for you right now is very much so supported and very much so recognized.
Wow. So powerful.
Mm-hmm.
So serious. I felt that shift when it happened too.
But it's a good serious. Like there's a level of power that wants to come through in the energetics from that. A very like powerful, stern, loving, but like know who you are.
Dina, you know who you are. It's time, girl. All right. Are we finished with Dina? Are we on to the next one?
Yeah.
All right. We got Willow Pillow.
Oh, Willow. Hi, Willow. Hi, sweetie. Willow's such a sweetheart.
All right.
I'm fabulous. Thanks for asking. Of course. Of course you are, Willow.
That was great. Brilliant.
Hear the song You're So Vain.
You probably think this song is about you.
Don't you?
That's hilarious.
That's my song, though. That's my keep it in check, Cory. That's my grounding humility song. All right, so what do we need to know for Miss Willow Pillow? Miss Willow Pillow. Miss Willow Pillow. You know, it's funny because I've been doing one of the decks that just got soaked recently has this card, and it's the Four of Cups, and it shows this girl that's just kind of sitting there like this.
Yeah,
and there's
we're
this
the same,
huge
right?
and huge this rainbow right next to her, and I'm being shown that image again, and it's like kind of like
poop loops.
Yeah, look,
don't want them.
Yeah, just shift over. The light is right there. It's just a little. It's a little multi-dimensional diamond. Just change the fractal over just like a centimeter, half a millimeter, and you're gonna see your rainbow bridge. Okay.
I always saw that card that way, the same way too. Is like all you gotta do is shift a little bit. It's not the hangman. You don't have to turn all the way upside down. It's not like you got to do a 180. It's right there. Yeah. And while you're still doing that, that way had said, "I love you," and I lost it now. Where is it? Sorry. Oh, Dina said, "Thank you so much. Yeah, felt it strongly." And wow, thank you, Cory.
Yeah, no problem.
And we're back to Willow now. All right. Sorry, guys.
Willow.
Riders on the Storm. Jim Morrison, Angel. Jim Morrison.
Wild Woman is coming out. Wild Woman. I love this card. This to me is about really fully embodying your wild, free, feminine essence. There's been a really much so a rise of this in my channel and in my friend groups. And so this is kind of resonating with what I'm seeing. The release of the wild femininity, which is, go run around naked in a forest, right? But go, this is that go be your wild essence, your wild self. There's something rising up within you with fire dance. So as I'm seeing this, I'm hearing fire dance, right? So this might be for you going out into the wilderness, I don't know if you fire dance or if that's something that's being called forward, but there's a purification that wants to occur through the fire dance for you. I'm
sorry. I'm laughing because Dina was actually going to do belly dancing, teach a group of us belly dancing. And I don't know if that's a fire dance or not. I'm not sure, but it's funny when you say fire dance, all I could see was Dina teaching belly dance. And this is for Willow. So, maybe Willow needs to join our class.
Oh, and I'm actually seeing this as actual light the fire and dance. There's something about your elemental magic that wants to come forward. another level of your of celebrating your elemental magic with fire. Almost like a transmutation or purification ceremony, but activating an element in your alchemical structure as well. There might be too much of one or more elements in your life right now, and the activation of fire is going to bring something forward for what you're trying to create and pull through in this world. So fire dance wants to come through. But also take a moment to celebrate yourself as well. This to me is about really taking those moments out to not be so hard on yourself, and to really celebrate your true wild free nature. So
wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Okay, we've got D. Guiding Dlight.
Guiding D. All right,
love you, man. You should come on here too. D, you should come on and do some readings as well. He does some really good readings. Mm-hmm. I'd love to have you come on again. I deleted one of the videos when I stayed at his place on my journey. I stayed with D for the first 2 nights, or 2 nights. Yeah, 2 nights. And he was the first leg of the trip. And yeah, he does great videos, let me tell you. But I wasn't planned. I was still like, I didn't take any pictures, and I had to hound him to give me a picture of the book that I gave him that I wrote. And thanks for sending that, by the way, D. Great picture. But yeah, we had a live that I did for my patrons, and then we had another live that we did for my regular channel. And I wound up deleting the video by mistake, and like that'll never be recovered. Oh no! Now I've learned how to do backups and stuff. I don't always do that, but
yeah, right.
I know I should. Whatever.
Almost. I was going for the Dragon Oracle deck, but then all of a sudden it was like, no, don't do dragons. I was like, okay, I won't do dragons. I won't bring in dragons.
Here you go, D.
All right, D. What do we need to know for D for Mr. Guiding Dlight? Aww. So 3 cards came out. The Heart of the Sky, the Rainbow, and the Upper World. This to me was coming through as get to the heart of the matter. Get to the heart of the matter. Why are you here? What's your purpose? What's your goals? Why are you doing what you're doing? Keeping that focus there. There's a bridge point that's being built in your own life right now. Because Rainbow, I'm getting very much so. Rainbow Bridge, Upper World, Divine Connection. There's a bridge point that's opening up and activating from within you. And I'm hearing Bring Me a Higher Love Again by Whitney Houston. Is it Whitney Houston? No, well, she's one that did the song. There's someone else who did it. But
yeah, who is that?
I forget. It's Steve Winwood, I believe. Steve Winwood that did Higher Love.
Yes, it's Steve Winwood. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm also hearing too with Heart of the Sky, keep your eye on the prize. Focus. Your life path is accelerating right now at a rapid rate and a rapid speed, right? So keep your focus, keep your eyes on the prize. Don't let yourself get distracted. And don't let yourself something about disappointments and grieving. That's in grief and disappointments that's occurring. This is really opening up to a whole nother level of flow in your life. And with the Upper World, I kind of want to say, I don't think you know how supported you are and how guided and loved you are, but like, I think you do though, right? Like there's something that wants to be like just a subtle reminder, not to say you don't know, because I know you know. I know you know, boo. But there's this level of just a reminder. And I want to say this, the bluebirds are free. The bluebirds are free. The bluebirds are free.
Awesome. That was great.
Mm-hmm.
I felt that one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna go down to the next person that raised their hand because there's a little bit of conversing going on here, and it looks like Daryl Schwartz will be next.
Okay, awesome, Daryl Schwartz.
And I'm gonna put Dee's comment up here.
Yes. Very cool.
Awesome.
Okay, so Daryl Schwartz. What say you cards, higher selves? About Woo! You guys, this one's like it. There's a little bit of like masculinity coming through with Daryl right now. It's like that. Even when I hit the deck, like it's like I'm here. In kind of a good way. A little bit of like a playful like badassery showing up. So touche, Daryl. Woo! Rise up, masculines. That's what I'm hearing. Rise up. But soften too. Soften. It's good to be in that primal masculine, but we have to remember to soften the edges as well too. Soften, slow down, relax. Like it feels like there's this kind of a dance right now between the masculine and feminine that's occurring. A balance point. Allow yourself to go into that balance point. Woo. So the card coming up is the curse. I don't want to give this power though. I think it's because I'm noticing the hand over the mouth. This is a time to speak up. Speak up. The spiral came out again. Speak up. So literally, like when I was talking about the ascension spiral, there might be a trouble with being able to communicate that's happening. Because I noticed my words got caught up there. There might be an issue with translating. There's something about expression that's going to be really important for you right now. I feel like... Ooh. This one's coming in about masks too. There's something about the mask, because I just heard masks off. And it's something that you need to speak on regarding this. Something you know, something you found that you're revealing. Choose your words wisely. You are a creator being in a body. Are you using your words to build up or to break down? Okay. There's something that wants to come through reminding you about creator consciousness in the most loving and respectful way. But there's some sort of like masculine power that's showing up that's like reminder that you are a creator being in a body, to be mindful of the words that you're using too. So there's a lot happening with and it's okay. It's okay. But it really is about taking note of when we're speaking and breathing life into the quantum field. This is coming back to especially seeing this spiral coming through, just like we were talking about earlier with speaking into the quantum field. Try speaking your golden tornado of creation into the field and watch the miracles that show up as a result of it too. But just be mindful that our words create realities. Our words create entire universes. Our words can also completely deconstruct and destroy universes as well. So this is just about being cautious and mindful with what we're saying, but also remembering the power of our words as well. That literally, that is how we create crystalline cities. That's how we break free from chains and from bloodline lineages as well, is being mindful of the words that we speak. Breath. And the word delicate wants to come through too. Delicate, because I'm feeling the heart chakra, right? Be gentle with yourself. Okay. Be gentle with yourself. Be very soft, gentle, and easy with yourself. Focus on your intrinsic value beyond the limitations of self. Focus on the grand, expansive aspects of you that are bigger than you might ever perceive, witness, or even think of imagining all that you are. Come back into that. Back into that, but also really take a moment to feel what you need to feel and to grieve and mourn that which you need to grieve and mourn right now. It's going to be important.
Fantastic. Thank you, Cory.
Yep.
That's great. Now, listen, I know what it's like to do back-to-back readings. I've done some for fundraisers and things, and I know, you're feeling really good now and everything too, but I know how it can feel later. And when you come down and say, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that to you. So I'll ask you for one more, because I had one more person ask to be the last person. That would be Angel.
Yeah.
And then after that, just we'll make sure everybody send energy over to Cory so that he doesn't be drained after this.
No,
We're giving all this away. Send energy to him for the exchange of energy. So he's doing this for free. So send him some love. Go and subscribe to his channel. If you have the funds and you can subscribe to his Patreon account, please do that. Support him. He's incredible. He's been in the trenches a long time. You guys are watching probably already know. If you don't know him, go and support him if you can, and if you're guided to. Thank you very much. And Daryl just said, wow, thank you, Cory, so much. It all highly resonates.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm being called to switch to a different deck for Angel. The Celtic deck wants to come out. So something about elementals coming through. So Angel. Yeah, bloodline trauma clearing. That's why this is coming through right now. I just want to say you made it. Someone wants me to tell you made it. You made it. Because I'm going through a very similar... It's actually fascinating that I'm pulling out this deck and bloodline trauma came out, because I'm actually working through very much so with my lineage patterning. This is the ancestral lines, right? The war is over and you are the miracle. Woo! Okay. Hold on. Something's telling me to pull more here for you, because there's more to this message. Ooh. Okay. Okay. All right. This is all coming together now. Good. So what came through was the two cards I want to talk about in reverse right now is abundance and home. They came in reverse. There's something about knowing your worth, knowing your wealth, and feeling safe inside your body that's kind of coming forward right now. And even almost looking for a home, waiting for a home. I want to say it's like with a whisper, your treasure is inside. Your treasure is inside of you. Okay. The gold in which you seek outside of you is actually held within. When we find that inherent value of our worth as the soul essence, as a divine creator, as creator consciousness, and we amplify that into the field and recognize what our self-worth and our self-value is, that's when these things show up, right? So home within the heart, come back to the heart more. Come back to the heart. Come back to the heart. This, I'm seeing the tree too. This is very much so coming forward as tree of life energy for me as well, which really much so ties into when I heard bloodline trauma clearing. There seems to be some lack patterning that's clearing from the family line regarding finances and financial instability. Right now is a time for you to focus on sharpening your tool of discernment. Okay. There's also some sort of skill that's coming as a result of this clearing that's going on from the bloodline trauma. There's a reclamation of DNA. And I'm hearing parallel realities that are almost clearing from your life path. As a result, as you're like doing that quantum hop and the quantum dance, reclaiming the seeds from those lifetimes and pathways and clearing all of that, there's a new level of guardianship that's coming forward. But as a result, you're going to have to become better acquainted with the new tools and skill sets that you have. But a reminder to play. The otter is coming out. This to me is all about play. Play. Right now, with the heavy amount of clearing that's happening with the bloodline trauma, and then the reclamation of all these gifts and abilities and all the quantum jumping that's been occurring, it can be really stressful and strenuous. And we can start to kind of feel a little bit old and bitter and frail. Like I'm being shown him and just how he's like, kind of looks like me after 1,000 years in a cave. Just super skinny. And this is really about to rebuild yourself after the great clearing that's going on. It's going to require rest, play, and retreat. So make sure you're taking moments out to play more. Also, there's a higher viewpoint and a higher vantage point that's being asked of you right now regarding the obstacle course. I'm hearing obstacle course. There's a higher viewpoint, higher perspective, because it's a skills test. It's an initiation. Okay. So just note that. Know your worth, know your value, but also gift yourself an opportunity to receive, please.
Cory, the reason I was laughing, I went up to visit on my journey. I went up north to visit where Angel's at with her family, and she's recently sent pictures about in her backyard. And I know some things, like, I won't share too much personal things and whatever, but when you said obstacle course, it's like her backyard literally looks like not an obstacle course, but it's set with fun things for her kids, like a pool and a teepee and, like the Cave of Wonder, or not the Cave of Wonders. What's it called? The Fortress of Solitude for the elementals and all that. So the fact that you had to pick that deck, you like really tapped in well. So if you guys can't see by now, she says, "Thank you, Ninja. Training doing great." Oh, wait. Oh, she was talking to somebody else. Sorry.
Okay.
But anyway, I guess someone else is. Oh, it's Sarah. Hey, Sarah. Oh, and all right. Look. So anyway, I think you nailed it. I'm just speaking for her now. But
thank you.
Angel, feel free to comment. So Daryl says, the one you just did, he said, "I've been following both of you for a while now. Thank you both for everything you guys are doing to help all of us remember who and what we are." Well, Daryl, you're very welcome. It's not even a choice at this point. It's who we are. We all agreed to this before. When the lights go on, like Rion over there says on Team Light, when the lights flip on and, we all see, we're all friends up there, and, we just agreed to play different roles. It's like all of this stuff goes away that's so heavy and dense. You guys are, you agreed to play these roles. We're all helping each other. We're all waking each other up and ringing the bells of freedom for each other. We're all doing our parts that we agreed to very, very long time ago. And it's been a very long time. I feel like that guy, when you said that cave guy, that's what you look like. I mean, I could lose a few more pounds to look like that, but I feel like that sometimes. Like,
right. Well, and that's the sole essence of like, oh, man, because I feel that too. Like today I woke up and cellularly, through the DNA activations, through the whole rewrites, the new coding, the unification, all this stuff, I'm tired. But it's that reminder that I have choice to play. I can play with this entire experience. I can walk through it dancing and laughing, and almost take it a little sarcastically a little bit sometimes. Sometimes that's what I need. But it really is, I love you too. Thank you, sweetie, for that. It's really about making sure we're taking moments to play again, because when we are working at the level that we're working at, doing like the quantum runs, the timeline jumps, everything like that, we can get tired really easily. Especially full-time service. This is about sustainability, right? We're all trying to come into a sustainable world, right? Sustainable community, sustainable everything, sustainable approach to Gaia. Well, a part of that too is we have to think long game in our energy systems, in our physical body, all this stuff. Like when we are showing up as the I am and we're doing the service work, like we can't burn out anymore. We're not that 1986 Ferrari that can just go 0 to 160 and then die after 5 years, right? Like we can't. That's such a that's the cataclysm that we're all trying to avoid. And a part of that is really stepping back more into that playful essence, because I feel like that's the next approach to this, is how do we navigate the trials, the tribulations, the tribunals, in the essence of play. Because that's going to help to shift. That's a whole new way of shifting out the field as well through everything. It's like coming back into that playful essence. So,
yeah, we got to play, guys. We got to remember to have fun with it. I mean, there's a lot of people that argue, do you really think it's fun when somebody dies from, COVID or whatever, vaccine, whatever, this, that, children, getting, well, I won't even say it, but bad things happening. do you really think that's fun? And how can you, and I've had people come at me with anger arrows. And it's like, trying to address topics like that is really difficult and challenging because no, it's not fun. And yes, it does hurt. And when I try to help people and I teach them, you have to feel everything and feel it fully. Like you said, of tucking things under the carpet. How do you tell somebody and how do you express to people to allow yourself to fully feel it so that you can transmute it? How do you get that point across to people, Cory, if you don't mind me asking?
I invite them to feel it all. I feel like sometimes we need an invitation to go there.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes, because a lot of the times we don't go there. We don't go, I mean, we'll go there. We'll go like 60, 50%. I'm talking about go all the way there. Feel what you got to feel, because freedom lies on the other side of that emotional expression, right? And every energy is constantly moving. It's fluid. It needs momentum. It needs motion. Hi, Echo. It needs movement. And so a part of that is that go there, feel it, get angry, get frustrated, right? Because the thing is enough of this world that I've seen, they don't feel fully and then they react off the emotions that they have. And that's when shit goes down. That's when we experience tragedy because people are reacting to an emotional state that they have, right? People are killing themselves every single day because they're reacting to emotions. People are, right. This whole situation that we're in, people are in a reactionary state, fight or flight.
Exactly.
Root chakra, stuck in the root chakra. Come back into the heart. Like, no doubt what's going on is very real and people are hurting from it, okay? That's what's happening. But it really is for all of us to, sometimes we need to just be seen. And sometimes it requires even myself to be like, I see you. I know you're hurting. And it's okay. Like, can you allow yourself to be where you're at and to feel what you're feeling? For me, I have to go, you know what? Sometimes I don't know what I'm feeling because complex emotions are real. And this entire situation is complex. So even in that instance, can you go, it's okay that this is really fucked up. It's okay that this is a really messed up situation. Can you allow it to be messed up? Because what you do is you break through the resistance, you open up just to enough to allow it to be what it is. And bubbling up will be the emotional response. You let it go. And on the other side of that emotional clearing is your freedom. And a lot of people don't know that. They don't know that freedom of expression, freedom of flow, things like that, it lies beyond us being able to express that which we are feeling. So
beautiful. So well said once again. Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
And Echo, we gave you a shout out earlier in the stream, so watch it later when you get a chance. It looks like a lot of people were happy to see us on here doing this. I'm really glad that things line up the way they do and that Soul Family reconnects with Soul Family. But I see it in the light networks. I see the points of activation on the quantum field and the Christ grid. And I see every point of light as a person, as a being, like a body that's holding the light. And I know some of the Christ grid, like if you can imagine a net and every point that crosses over is the human holding that down. There's parts of the net that are still flying up in the sky because the higher self of somebody, the soul, the Christ connection point hasn't been brought down and grounded into earth. So like, that's kind of how I see it. And not like a black net, because somebody's thinking a black fishing net. Sorry if that's you, because no, picture white, golden light, glowing lights of tunnels, highways of light, crisscrossing like ley lines, energy, Christ light, and see that. And every part where it crosses over, that's how it ties into your heart and see it that way. And so when you breathe in and out, you can, that's your source connection. That's your food source. That's your light source. That's your love source and your ability to be able to travel anywhere, anytime, blessings, quantumly. It's like a superhighway, or I'll call it the gateway to the superhighway of light channels. That works. So I'm really glad we had a chance to do this and have our lights intersect and spread this out. And fishnet stockings on Busted Again. You're kidding. Were you really? Angel.
They're bootleg.
Busted. Oh my God. What's coming across now is you'll put an eye out with that thing. Like, what was that Christmas thing with the leg? Didn't it have fishnet stocking on it? Did you ever see the Christmas Story?
Mm-mm.
No, there's your video is frozen, by the way, Cory. I know.
Really?
Yeah, I know internet's a little rough. There you are. You're back.
Okay, cool.
Every year in Christmas, I think it's called A Christmas Story. I'm not sure what it's called now. Gosh, it's a little kid with glasses. He's really cute. Yeah, and they say you'll put an eye out. All he wants is a BB gun.
Mm-hmm.
And in there, the dad gets the leg lamp, the infamous leg lamp. And I think
Yes.
didn't the leg have fishnet stockings on it?
Oh my gosh.
I was just seeing an image.
Yeah, you were showing me the image, and I'll just agree with you because I was seeing it in my mind's eye. So yes.
All right.
Too good. Too good. Too good.
I know. Watch. I'll go on Google or Amazon. I think they actually sell them, and there won't be fishnet stockings. But if anybody knows, go ahead and drop it in the comments before we wrap this up. Let's see. You have anything else that you're feeling you want to share with everybody? Share with the collective. Share on this video on this platform. Invitations or guidance or just anything coming through.
Guidance maybe.
Okay.
See, right now it's interesting. I was called to grab my blue Andara, and there's this blue and white crystalline light coming down and through.
It's Buddha and Christ.
And I'm hearing right now it's really an important time to hold sacred ceremony for yourself. A moment to celebrate yourself, because that in its essence right now of self-love, and I can kind of feel like, wait, celebrate self? What? No, it's not selfish to celebrate yourself, people.
No.
When you celebrate yourself, you invite other people to celebrate themselves as well. Celebrate your joy, celebrate your presence, celebrate your essence. There's nothing selfish about that, but take a moment to hold sacred ceremony for all that you are. And to hold that in the field, because when you hold that divine light and love of your presence and you send through the field, through the grids, we invite other people to do the same. It requires self-love for all of us to harmonize with the dimensional realm up to us here and now. It requires a deep, profound, sacred respect and integrity that is learned through the process of self-love, self-honor. So just take a moment to step into sacred ceremony for yourself today and to practice that. Even if it's 5 minutes a day, give that opportunity, right? When we gift ourselves the opportunity to treat ourselves with anger, loving, and kindness that we all deserve and wish to see in the world, the more we're going to attract that experience into the reality, because I think we forget sometimes, inward, outward, as within, as above, so below. That's the way the energy flows. So remember that part of this is that when we activate that essence of self-love within ourselves, we're going to find that love out there in all shades, forms, so on and so forth. The unconditional love that you want to receive from your soul tribe, from your network, from your people, is found through unconditional love of self. So there's something about that wants to come forward right now for all of us to practice harmonizing with unconditional love of self. No attachment, no trauma, no drama, just back to a pure sacred resonance of what that love is in the unified expression, so we can finally begin to get up, get together, thinking out what we need to crank as a society. And a part of that is we need to learn to love can remember what additionally when we process, we can honor other processes as well.
Just grounding that in. I thank you. I can't even follow up with that one, because you just said perfectly. It was brought in perfectly. It's grounded. And I just want to thank you for your presence. I want to thank you for your work. Thank you for everything that you gifted everybody with today. It was an honor and a pleasure having you here, Cory. Thank you so much for jumping on and being willing to serve.
Yes.
And thank you for all that you do. So you guys, if you're not subscribed to Cory's channel, please go over there. He's Founders of Light over on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and patronize him. No.
Please. Yes. Right?
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be heading on over to Sherry Bausch's channel. We're going to be going live somewhere around, oh, wait. not 6 o'clock my time, 9 o'clock my time, which is 6 o'clock Western time. Yeah. So I'll be over on her channel later if you guys want to find it. Sorry if that's too fast. I know I got yelled at earlier for that. Yeah, go subscribe to her. She's building her channel too. She is amazing. And hit the little bell so you'll get a notification when we go live tonight. We're going to be doing a lot more work. We did this once last week. It was very powerful, very grounding. So if you guys want to come and lend your support, lend your energy for that, and just hold space while we work in tandem off of each other, that would be wonderful. Would love to see you over there. And Cory, if there's ever anything that you need, just hit me up. I love you, brother. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you here.
Yes, and thank you so much for having me on, for all that you're doing for the collective, sharing this information, and putting your voice out there. It's see you in this manner, and I just want to say thank you for giving me the freedom to be myself here, because I feel like when we share that space authentically, to be in our light, to be in our that's the welcome mat waiting for this whole shift that's occurring, is that welcome mat, and you're providing that for me and for all. So thank you.
You're welcome. You're very welcome, brother. All right. Take care, you guys. Namaste. And just be a little bit better today than you were yesterday, you guys. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.